I was the only man in a house full of women who called everything girls only. So I stopped paying their bills and watched them turn into strangers overnight. And now they're begging. Hey, Reddit, ever get treated like a walking wallet by your own family? Yeah, same. I was the only guy in a house full of women who called everything girls only, except when bills were due. They left me out of dinners, trips, birthdays, but always remembered me when rent was late or something needed fixing. I stayed quiet for years, kept helping, kept showing up, until they crossed the line one too many times. So I pulled the plug, and their whole world started falling apart. Here's how it went down. So, I, Nathan 28 male, and my entire family, at least the part that talks to me, is all women. My mom, two older sisters Amanda and Taylor, 31 and 33 females. Three aunts, two are my mom's sisters, and one married in. Basically, I was raised in a chick cult, and not the cool kind where they actually like you. My dad dipped after a nasty divorce when I was a kid, and nobody's heard from his side of the family since. So, yeah, I grew up in a house where I was the only dude and constantly got the "you're just like your father" passive digs if I ever disagreed with anything. Mom's always had this switch. Sweet one minute, cold the next if you didn't fall in line. Anyway, a few years ago, my mom and her sisters started doing these girls-only weekends. It kicked off with some movie, The Avengers or something. And I guess it was a blast because they started doing outings every couple of weeks after that. Like clockwork. I didn't care at first. I'm not the type to get in anyone's way or make a fuss. I live alone, got a solid job, my own space, and hobbies. If they want to do brunch and gossip, go for it. But then it started snowballing. What started as just girls' movie night became, let's go to the zoo. Let's do dinner. Let's do a spa day. Let's go bowling. Even a baseball game at one point. Not kidding. Half of those things aren't even girly to begin with. But still, no invite for me. And every time they posted pics in the group chat or raved about how fun it was, I'd just leave a thumbs up emoji and scroll on. Tried to act like it didn't bother me. Thing is, I'm not some distant cousin or random family friend. I'm their son, their brother, and I'm the one helping them out more than anyone else. I've been giving my mom money every month for years to help with bills. My younger aunt needed help with a car payment. I spotted her. One of my sisters got laid off for 3 months, and guess who paid her rent? Me. I've never thrown it in their face either. I was raised to help family, even if they're annoying sometimes. But they sure don't treat me like I matter. My sisters, though? Whole different story. My mom acts like they're royalty. Every time one of them does something basic like land a job or cook a lasagna, it's this whole thing. Group text blowing up with "proud of you, girl," or "you're amazing, babe." I bought my mom a new fridge last year after hers died, and she told me, "That's nice," like I was some random neighbor lending a hand. And yeah, I know, maybe I sound bitter, but wouldn't you be? Imagine being the one guy in a family full of women, doing everything you can to support them, because you know you're the man, and still being treated like a backup plan. Like if I dropped off the face of the earth, the only thing they'd miss is the money. The weirdest part is, they act like they're so inclusive and loving. That's their whole vibe. Sisterhood, women supporting women, ride or die energy. But they've literally built this little circle where I'm not welcome unless it's Thanksgiving, or someone needs a ride to the airport. It got more obvious around year 2 of the girls only thing. They'd plan stuff right in front of me. I'd be sitting in the living room at my mom's house while they're talking about brunch plans or an upcoming trip, and not once would they turn to me and say, "Hey, wanna come?" Not even a fake invite, just full on pretending like I'm invisible. One time I tried joking about it. I said, "Damn, guess I need to grow my hair out and change my name to be part of the club." Crickets. One of my aunts did this forced laugh. My mom didn't even look up from her phone. It's like the second I bring up being excluded, I'm either ignored or told I'm making things about me. Which, side note, is exactly what they used to say to my dad before he left. So, yeah, maybe I am like him. I guess what really messed me up is that I kept giving them the benefit of the doubt. I kept thinking maybe they just don't realize how it feels. Maybe it's not intentional. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But after 2 years of the same crap, no invites, no appreciation, just straight up acting like I'm a second-class member, I stopped making excuses for them. It's not even just about being left out. It's the attitude, the entitlement, the way they treat me like a walking wallet and background character. And yet, they bend over backwards for each other. One of my sisters wanted help redecorating her living room, and 3 of them dropped everything and showed up with paint swatches. I offered to help fix my mom's dryer and got told, maybe let the professionals handle it. Cool. Got it. So yeah, at this point, The girls only thing wasn't just a cute theme anymore, it was an excuse. It became a way of telling me I don't belong, that I'm not one of them, and never will be, which would be fine if they didn't also rely on me for everything when things go south. I didn't speak up right away. I kept it all in, but deep down, I knew something had to give. I was either going to suck it up forever or finally call it for what it was: favoritism, entitlement, and disrespect. And I might have been raised to be the nice guy of the family, but even I have a limit. I didn't reach that limit yet. Not then, but it was getting close. Anyways, so mid-January rolls in, and I'm wrapping up work on a Saturday when I realize I haven't heard anything about Aunt Lisa's birthday. Normally by now, I'd have gotten one of those reservations at 7 messages followed by some overpriced menu screenshots. But it's radio silence. Weird. I text my sister, nothing. I text my mom, and she replies 5 hours later with, "We already did something last weekend. Lisa's going out of town. No heads up, no invite, no nothing." I ask, "Wait, you all already did her birthday dinner?" She says, "Yeah, just a little girls' night." Right. Now, here's the thing. I don't care about dinner. It's not the food, it's not the aunt. It's the pattern. I'm being told, again, that I don't need to be there. They went to that steakhouse downtown, the same place I introduced them to back in 2019. Funny how that becomes girls only when they're enjoying the perks I gave them. And this time, I didn't sit there wondering what I did wrong. I just filed it under. Y'all really think I'm disposable, huh? What made it worse? I'd already bought her a gift. I took time out of my week to go get her this niche herbal tea set she mentioned once, just in passing, during a random conversation in the fall. Remembered it. Got it. Wrapped it. Card included. I don't half-ass stuff like this. I just believe in doing right by people, even when they barely register you exist. Dropped it at her house like it was some damn Amazon delivery. No call, no hug, just a thanks text a day later. That was the moment it shifted for me. Not because of the dinner, not even the gift. It was realizing I'm the afterthought. I'm the guy who gets remembered after the fun's done, and only because I might bring a gift. I didn't vent, I didn't argue, I didn't guilt trip anyone, because I understood what gets respect in this family. No, it's not effort, it's not sacrifice. It's being part of their clique, the girl club, the inner circle. If you don't fit the mold, you don't get the credit. Doesn't matter what you do for them behind the scenes. That doesn't get posted about. That doesn't get thank you texts. That gets ignored. So when people ask why I didn't say anything earlier, it's because I didn't want to sound petty. I let them have their girls' nights, their spa days, their inside jokes. I wasn't trying to crash their party, but now it's not just girl time, it's family time minus the one guy they don't feel like including. That week I made a decision. No more extra effort. I wasn't going to chase inclusion or bend over backwards trying to earn something they were never going to give me. Respect shouldn't be a reward for shutting up and giving more. So I pulled back a bit, not dramatically, just started saying no a little more. My aunt asked if I could help her fix her broken screen door, told her I was tied up, my mom needed help figuring out her insurance portal again, told her to call the company. My sister asked if she could borrow money for the 3rd time this year, told her, not right now. You'd think I burned their house down. Got a passive-aggressive some people change when they get money text from my mom 2 days later. Didn't even respond. What I realized is, they don't just expect me to help. They count on it. They feel entitled to my time, my money, my attention, but not my presence, not my voice, not my seat at the table. I'm good enough to fund the family, but not good enough to hang with it. So nah, I didn't care about the steak dinner. I cared that I was the only one ever left out. I cared that they didn't even see it as wrong. And trust me, I was already noticing them gearing up for something else. Talk about a summer escape had already started floating around in the chat. They called it just a little beach trip, nothing big. But I knew exactly where it was headed. So usually around March, the women in my family start buzzing about the yearly beach trip. It's a tradition. Week-long rental, everyone brings food, some do nothing but post selfies pretending they cooked, and I, of course, do most of the heavy lifting. Literally and financially. I've been covering the house deposit and sometimes more because, being the responsible guy in the family apparently means you're also the designated ATM. But this year, nothing. Not a word. The group chat was weirdly quiet. At first, I figured maybe they were scaling back, but then I started seeing things. Instagram posts with captions like "Sun's calling," shopping bags with beach gear, vacation body countdowns from my sisters, like they were training for a photo shoot. Even my aunt asked me casually if I still had that big cooler. No mention of the actual trip. Just sneaky little breadcrumb clues. I didn't need Sherlock Holmes to piece it together. They were planning the beach trip, the same one I usually bankroll, the same one we all agreed last year was such a great tradition. Only difference now? Apparently, I didn't make the cut. Now here's where it gets wild. Back in December, we had this throwaway convo after Thanksgiving where I joked, "Guess I'll cover the beach house again so you guys don't end up in a shack with no AC." They laughed like I was doing stand-up and said things like, "You're the best, and we'll owe you one." That's it. That was the full extent of the planning meeting. And apparently, that was good enough for them to move forward, like I was fully locked in as the unpaid sponsor. Planning the trip, choosing the house, even putting down my name for the booking, but never once bothering to tell me they were turning it into a girls-only event. I found out the final detail through a comment one of my aunts dropped on my sister's post. "So excited for our beach week. Thank you again for reserving it under Nathan. I swear you could hear the record scratch in my head. So let me get this straight. They're taking a vacation. Without me. On my tab. Using my name. And had zero intention of telling me until the deposit went through. That's not family. That's organized theft and flip-flops." At this point, I wasn't even angry. It was actually kind of hilarious. Like watching toddlers try to pull off a bank heist with crayons and a fake ID. Just dumb enough to be bold. Now, I could have blown up the group chat. I could have called everyone out and gone nuclear. But why bother? They don't listen when I talk. They only listen when I act. So I did what any logical guy would do. I logged into the reservation portal, canceled the pending booking, and removed my card from the account. No warning, just poof. The fallout came quick. Within 24 hours, I got the first wave of text messages. They started light, confused. "Hey, something's wrong with the payment." Then came the passive-aggressive wave. "I thought you said you'd handle it." Followed by my personal favorite. "We already told the kids we were going. This isn't fair." Fair? You're booking a vacation behind my back, using my card, and not inviting me because I wasn't born with the right plumbing. And you're talking about fair? But I didn't respond. Not because I was sulking or trying to be dramatic, but because silence is a full sentence. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist? Fine. I returned the favor. Quietly, efficiently. Then, just to drive the point home, I booked a mountain cabin for the same week. Took a couple buddies. No announcements, no revenge post. Just a photo of us grilling on the deck, laughing about something dumb, fire pit in the background, peace in the air. You know, real vacation energy. One where no one expects you to foot the bill and still wait outside the gate. Apparently, that image alone triggered a meltdown. I didn't see the group chat fallout in real time because I had it on mute, but one of my cousins sent me a screenshot later. Full panic mode. They had no rental. No backup plan. Turns out when you burn bridges with the guy who books everything and pays for it, the vacation fairy doesn't magically show up to save you. Still, I kept it classy. No digs, no "I told you so." Just silence and s'mores at my cabin while they scrambled like a broke reality show cast, trying to build a vacation out of vibes and borrowed beach towels. And here's the sickest part. None of them apologized. Not one. They tried to twist it like I had flaked, like it was my fault for not reminding them that using my name and card requires my actual approval. The entitlement is Olympic level at this point. They don't respect me, but they expect me to show up as the invisible sponsor of their fun. And when I don't, suddenly I'm the one causing problems. Nah. They wanted a girls' trip? They got one. Just not the deluxe edition they were used to, because that version required me. So after the whole vacation debacle, I didn't make a scene. I didn't write long messages explaining myself or drop dramatic one-liners in the group chat. I just stopped responding. No last straw speech, no storming out. I cut the cord the same way a contractor cuts power to a condemned building. Quiet, final, and with zero concern about what's still running inside. And for a while, I was almost convinced they got the message. The group chat was dry. No "can you help with" texts. No fake invitations, just complete silence. Which, for my family, was like hearing a dog not bark when someone's at the door. It didn't feel peaceful. It felt loaded, like they were regrouping. Then came the couch test. My older sister sent a one-liner Monday morning. "Hey, any chance you can help me carry my new couch upstairs? The delivery guys won't do stairs." No greeting, no check-in, just right back to the same entitled tone like I'd hit pause, not stop. I didn't reply. Read it while biting into a breakfast burrito and kept scrolling. Tuesday, Aunt Lisa texted with some "hey sweetie" fluff and a request to help dispute a credit card charge. She said the website was confusing and she didn't want to call anyone. I sent her back. The number on the back of the card still works. Nothing after that. Wednesday morning, I got the call. Now for context, my mom only calls when someone dies, or when she wants something complicated that she can't text about. So when I saw her name pop up, I picked up more out of curiosity than concern. She didn't waste a second. "Your sister's car got totaled this morning," she blurted out. "She's in the hospital. It's bad. They're saying she needs surgery. Her leg's really messed up. We're trying to get the money together, but it's tight. No hello. No buildup. Just a direct pipeline to panic." I paused. Something didn't sit right. For starters, she didn't say which sister. Not their name, not which hospital, not even the usual dramatic voice she puts on when she's actually shaken. So I asked flat, "Where is she?" "St. Thomas," she replied too quickly. "They won't let anyone in right now because of all the scans. They're being strict about access." Still didn't say a name. I told her I'd call the hospital directly. Her tone shifted hard. "No, no, don't do that. She's in and out. They won't be able to confirm anything. It's too soon." I didn't argue. I just said, "All right," and hung up. Then I opened Instagram. I checked both my sister's pages. My older one hadn't posted in a day, which wasn't unusual. But my younger sister? She just uploaded a photo of a cappuccino with her name spelled wrong on the cup and the caption, "Barista's never gonna get it right." Big smile, full makeup, cozy sweater, not exactly the vibe of someone fresh out of surgery. I double-checked the timestamp. 7 minutes ago. If she was in a hospital, they must have started giving patients artisan coffee with foam art now. I sat back in my chair, phone still in hand, and just stared at the screen. My own mother had faked a car crash, a surgery, an emergency, just to hustle me for money. And the part that really got me? She didn't even put effort into it. No fake tears, no buildup, no emotional manipulation finesse. Just an automatic, soulless lie like she was ordering takeout. That's how casual it had become, weaponizing disasters to squeeze me like a bank account that can't close. I didn't call anyone. I didn't text back. I just let that sit. The next morning, the group chat flared up with vague nonsense. My mom dropped a passive message. "Thanks to everyone who came together yesterday. I'm reminded why family matters." Translation: I didn't get what I wanted from him, but I'm still going to pretend the scam worked. Then Lisa posted, "Some of us just do more and that's okay." I closed the app. I wasn't shocked anymore. I was done. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't overreaction. This was calculated emotional fraud. This was my own mother faking an accident because my silence threatened their funding stream. I spent the next hour organizing screenshots. Every time they asked for money, every last-minute panic favor, every guilt text I'd brushed off until now. I filed it all in a folder on my phone titled "For Memory." Not to shame them later, not to send it to anyone, just to make sure I never forgot how far they went when I stopped playing their scapegoat. That silence, that calm, it wasn't just satisfying, it was freeing. Then the final hit came. "Saturday night," my mom texted again. No dramatic opener this time, no fake emergency. Just, "Can you help with rent this month? Things have been hard. Everyone's doing their best." I stared at it. Then typed, "Everyone's best looks a lot like my worst." Sent it. Mute. Didn't even wait for her response. Blocked her number for the weekend just to enjoy 48 uninterrupted hours. Not because I was angry, because I was clear. The thing about cutting people off is that the silence doesn't hit them first. The consequences do. And when I stopped helping, I didn't leave a note. No final warning. Just unplugged the power and walked away. It took about 2 weeks for the cracks to show. Then it all started crashing, fast. First one in the blast radius? My older sister, Amanda. She'd been driving a car I technically co-signed for 2 years ago. Long story short, she couldn't qualify a loan, begged me to just put your name on it, said she'd take care of everything. And for a while she did, until I pulled my name off quietly after the vacation stunt. Had the legal stuff finalized a month back, gave her a heads up she ignored. I didn't push it, I just got out. Well, turns out she was behind on payments. 3 to be exact. The dealership repoed the car in broad daylight, right outside her job. A coworker recorded the whole thing. She called my mom crying like a teenager who got grounded. Mom texted me, "How could you do this to her? Do this to her?" I didn't call the repo guy. I just stopped babysitting her mess. That same weekend, I got a call from the electric company. My name was still on the account at Mom's house. I thought I'd already switched it over to her. Guess not. She hadn't paid in 2 billing cycles. Balance was pushing $600. They were about to shut it off. So I paid it? Nah. I called them, took my name off immediately, and let the system handle it. That Monday, they lost power for 36 hours. Mom texted me something like, "Wow, you really don't care anymore, huh?" She was right. I didn't. Then came the bounced rent. My younger sister Taylor had been managing rent on a two-bedroom place she shared with a friend, except she'd been using money from the family pool to stay afloat. And the family pool? Yeah, that was basically me. Once I stopped wiring her anything, she fell short fast. Her roommate posted a passive-aggressive rant on Facebook. Some people aren't built for adult responsibilities. Real subtle. Within 3 days, Taylor was back at Mom's house, sleeping on the couch and blaming a toxic living environment. I'm guessing the landlord didn't buy that one either. By week 3, Aunt Lisa was listing furniture on Facebook Marketplace. That alone didn't surprise me. What did surprise me was the description she used on a $90 used coffee table. Family going through hardship due to betrayal. Please help if you can. Betrayal? I read that while drinking coffee and almost spat it out. These people were so comfortable feeding off me for years that the moment the gravy train stopped, it became a betrayal. Here's the part that got twisted. One of them, still not sure who, tried to open a new credit card using my name. They still had some old mail, maybe enough for a week application. I got a fraud alert email, flagged it, denied it, locked it all down. I didn't even confront anyone. If they wanted to play dirty, let them try. All they do was expose themselves harder. Next thing I hear, Mom's bank account got frozen for an overdraft. She called my aunt crying that she had to cancel an upcoming dental procedure because we're not all lucky enough to ignore family. The same woman who faked a car accident 2 weeks ago was now using cavities as moral leverage. By mid-month, my cousin messaged me on the side. "Just FYI, they're trying to get Uncle Jay to pitch in now. Told him you cut everyone off for no reason." That day, Uncle Jay called me to laugh about UT. He isn't actually family, just an old friend of my dad's who stuck around here and then, but had his own life and family. He is a solid guy. "Man," he said, "they really painted you as the villain." I told him I didn't care. Let them. Because here's the kicker. The moment I stopped funding the show, the whole set collapsed. No vacations, no rides, no help with bills, no insurance paperwork, no backup. They weren't mad that I changed. They were mad they had to. One day, Taylor called me directly. First call from her in months. I let it ring. Straight to voicemail. She texted after. "Can we at least talk about why you're being like this? You used to help." Yeah, I used to, back when there was some mutual respect, or at least the illusion of it. But after the lies, the scams, the entitlement, the silence wasn't revenge. It was sanity. Then came the hospital stunt. Not the fake one. This one was real. Aunt Lisa tripped at work and fractured her wrist. Needed outpatient surgery. Minor thing. But apparently the deductible was steep. She texted me this paragraph about how no one else can help right now, and I know you don't want to hear from us, but this is different. Different. When I broke my wrist 4 years ago, I paid out of pocket and got 0 calls, 0 support. They sent me a funny meme about how guys are bad at resting. I left her text unread. And that must have been the last straw for them. Because after that, they turned full delusional. Mom sent a message in the group chat, still muted on my end, saying, "We don't need anyone's help. Some people just want to see others fail when they stop being useful." Aunt Lisa commented under it with, "That's what happens when someone thinks money equals morals." They were trying to flip the narrative like they were the victims of some tyrannical dictator who took away their free lunch. Like they hadn't lived years on autopilot, passing me bills and expecting me to smile and swipe. Then the cherry on top. They tried reaching out to my boss. I kid you not. Someone, probably Amanda, sent an email to my workplace's general inbox saying I had abandoned my sick mother and that it was affecting his mental well-being and focus at work. The email was so unhinged, HR forwarded it to me and asked if I was okay. I laughed, said, "Family drama," and they dropped it. That was the day I changed my number. No big speech, no dramatic goodbye. Just done. Same city, same job, same apartment. But I cut everything that they used to reel me back in, and this time for good, no more chances. It wasn't the, "I'm just gonna ignore them." It's the, "they don't exist to me anymore." I didn't announce it. Let them keep texting into the void. Let them figure it out when their calls stopped going through and their group chat rants never landed. For the first time in years, I wasn't on standby. No midnight emergencies, no request for bill help, no fake birthday guilt. Just a clean, quiet line where there used to be chaos. The only one I still kept in touch with was Uncle Jay. He'd call occasionally with updates, like giving me a sports recap of a team I'd stopped rooting for. Apparently, Amanda's struggling with her commute. Taylor's eating through mom's pantry like a plague of locusts. And Lisa's been pawning furniture so fast the living room looks like a crime scene. He asked if I was good. I told him I was better than I'd ever been. But deep down, I knew the silence wouldn't last. This wasn't over. I knew it wasn't over. You don't unplug yourself from a whole system of manipulation and just expect them to let you walk away. Parasites don't give up their host that easy. It was a Saturday morning. I had the windows open, coffee on the counter, and some jazz playing low on my Bluetooth speaker. Peaceful. Almost fake, considering the kind of year I'd had. The air even smelled clean. That weird stillness you get when everything's just right. Then came the knock. Not a polite one. Not a neighborly, "Hey, you got a sec?" kind of knock. This was fist on wood, full-blown aggression. Someone trying to break rhythm more than make contact. I opened the door, and there she was. My mother. Not the version of her that used to bake cookies and force hugs. This was a different version. Hair wild. Eyes locked on me like I'd personally pushed her off a cliff. Her mouth already moving before I could even say a word. "You really think this is how you treat family?" she snapped. "You think you can just throw us all in the street and pretend like we don't exist?" I blinked. No hi. No can we talk? Just immediate accusation like I'd burned the house down and left a note saying figure it out. I didn't answer right away. I just looked at her. Really looked at her. She looked tired. Not tired from work or age. Tired like someone who'd spent weeks lying, scrambling, blaming, and couldn't figure out why none of it worked anymore. Then I said, "You chose this." That was it. Calm, steady, no yelling, and that's what set her off. "You're just like your father." She hissed it like it was the ultimate insult. "Cold, selfish, ungrateful. He walked out on this family and now you're doing the same thing." I stayed in the doorway, arms crossed, not giving her an inch. "Dad left because you treated him like garbage. I just figured it out sooner." She slapped me, open palm, right across the face. Not hard enough to knock me back, but hard enough that the music inside stopped feeling appropriate. I didn't flinch. I just nodded slowly, like a math equation had finally solved itself. "That's all you had left, huh?" I said. "When the guilt stopped working, when the lies stopped landing, you went old school." She started pacing, rambling. Something about Taylor having nowhere to go, Amanda being in debt because of me, Lisa not being able to get her life together because she's so stressed. Then she pointed to the street and barked, "You're sitting here in your little apartment, living your little life while your family is drowning. You mean the family that used me like a checkbook and left me out of everything unless something needed fixing?" I asked. She didn't answer. Instead, she grabbed the potted plant by my door, this ugly ceramic cactus someone from work gave me, and hurled it down the steps. Ceramic exploded. Soil everywhere. Didn't even blink. "You think this makes you strong?" she shouted. "You think cutting everyone off makes you better? You're a coward, a spoiled little coward just like your father." Then she started pulling stuff from the small patio table, tossed my ashtray, knocked over the folding chair, took her keys and started scratching the paint on the railing. I stepped back, pulled my phone from my pocket, still calm. She kept yelling, "You'll regret this. You'll die alone just like him." Then she kicked the panel near my AC unit. It cracked. Not even a big crack, just enough to be stupid. That's when I dialed. Not to threaten, not to warn her. I called the cops, told them my mother was trespassing and vandalizing my property. I said it as flat as I'd order lunch. She heard me. "You're calling the police? On your own mother? On the woman who faked a hospital emergency, tried to steal from me, and just damaged my place? Yeah, that's what I'm doing." "You're disgusting," she spat. I learned from the best. I didn't raise my voice. Didn't match her crazy. I just let it burn through her that I wasn't the same kid who used to say yes to every guilt trip. I wasn't the same guy who bailed them out when they forgot to pay the water bill or accidentally used up their data plan streaming Netflix all month. I was done. The dispatcher stayed on the line, asked if she was still on the premises. I said yes. My mom stood there, shaking, not crying, just raging. Like she couldn't figure out how someone like me, someone who always bent, suddenly wouldn't break. I watched her deflate a little when she realized I wasn't bluffing, that police really were on the way. She backed off the porch, took a final look at me, then turned and stomped toward her car. Before getting in, she shouted, "Don't come crawling back when no one wants you." I stared at her, then said, "I'd rather be unwanted than used." She sped off. Tires squealed. Nothing dramatic, just the sound of someone out of control and needing to feel powerful again. 15 minutes later, 2 officers showed up. took a quick statement. I showed them the broken pot, the cracked panel, the scratch on the railing. Had it all on camera too. My doorbell cam had caught the whole show in high def. They offered to file a formal report. I told them yes. Not because I wanted her arrested, because I wanted a record. The next day, Uncle Jay called. He'd heard. News moves fast when someone like my mom melts down in public. He wasn't surprised. Just asked if I was all right. Yeah, I told him. She finally showed me who she really is. He sighed, said, sometimes people aren't mad that you stopped helping. They're mad you stopped believing they needed help in the first place. I hung up and stood in the middle of my living room, letting the quiet settle in. She was gone. Not physically. She still existed, still lived 15 minutes away. But the illusion was gone. The idea that she'd change, or understand, or even just back off when I asked her to. All that died the moment she threw a flower pot and scratched my porch rail like a teenager keying an ex's car. That was the final break. No more texts, no more second chances, no more shared blood excuses. Just me, standing in the wreckage of a family that expected me to hold everything together and hated me the moment I stopped. A week later and things still feel quiet, not fake quiet, real quiet, no buzz on my phone, no fake emergencies, no guilt bombs wrapped in just checking in texts. It's like someone hit mute on a sitcom that ran too many seasons past its prime. After the cops came that day, I didn't try to spin anything. I told the truth. She slapped me, keyed my porch rail, threw a pot at the steps, screamed like I was the devil. The officer wrote everything down, asked if I wanted to press charges. I said no, just document it. I wanted something on paper in case she pulled this again. He nodded and left, but the damage was already done. That report? It shattered whatever fantasy she had about me always staying quiet. She didn't get arrested, but she got warned, officially, and she hated that. Uncle Jay told me she's been telling the family I ruined her life and sided with the law over blood. I guess in her mind, blood means immunity from consequences. Meanwhile, her meltdown became the final straw for everyone else. Lisa cut contact with her 2 days later. Apparently didn't want to be associated with someone unstable enough to get cops involved. Amanda moved out temporarily, said she needed space, but really she's couch surfing now. Taylor's still stuck there, but barely speaks to Mom. The house is a powder keg, with no one left to absorb the heat. And me? I'm just watching it unravel from a distance. I changed my number, blocked every one of them except Uncle Jay. He's the only one who talks to me like I'm human, not a debit card with legs. He gives me updates, but never tells me to fix it. Just says, they're learning what it's like without you. Amanda tried texting me through a burner number, said I was cruel, said Mom's depression got worse, said Taylor had to take out a payday loan. I read it, deleted it. I've done enough saving. It's their turn now. Funny part is, when you finally set boundaries, people think you've changed, that you're bitter, that you've become the villain. Nah, I'm the same guy who helped fix the fridge, paid for birthdays, booked the rental houses, handled bills, listened to their messes. The only thing that changed? I stopped playing dumb. I started using my money on myself. Nothing flashy, just normal stuff. Replacing worn-out sneakers, fixing the AC in my car, ordering takeout without calculating if I'd need to send cash to someone else that week. I finally booked a cabin up north. Solo trip. No group chat, no drama, no, can you drive us? I sit outside most evenings now. It's weird not checking my phone every 5 minutes for another favor. It's almost too still. But then I remember that scratch on the porch rail. The one she left. I left it there. Could have sanded it off by now, but I don't. It reminds me how close I came to losing my peace again. Mom hasn't reached out since. No apologies, just silence. Probably still spinning the story her way. Probably still thinks I'll break eventually. I won't. I'm not mad anymore. Not even sad. Just done. Some people think silence means defeat. For me, it means I finally won.